So after I sprayed the Raptor liner on the the other side of these fenders, I scuffed up the surface, did a little bit of repair filler work where the acid damage was. You can still see a little bit of it, like right there, and basically where that bracket is. But it's not too bad. There's some right here. I've got 3 coats of high builds now on these. I didn't film that. And tomorrow I'm going to start sanding. Once the sanding is complete, I'm going to start with 400 grit dry, and then I'll see if I need to go wet. But I've got 600 if I'm going to go to wet sand. Anyway, after wet sanding, we're going to apply a sealer. It's a black sealer, so the black is supposed to help with coverage on the metallics, the blue metallic. I didn't do that on the firewall. I should have, but it doesn't matter now. And that's it. And here is a good shot of kind of how the primer lays down. I used the 421-19 by Nason. Turned out okay, but I was using a really crappy gun. It doesn't matter. Most of this is going to end up on the floor anyway after sanding. So, all right, stay tuned. Well, it helps if I push the record button. So, here we are. I sanded to 600, wet sanded. Not super duper. I don't think I hit everything, but I did hit most everything. I don't know. I think it turned out all right. After 600 grit, then I used a sealer, a black sealer, which is supposed to help in the coverage, and I think it does. And then I went to 2 coats of base, and I think I went to like 2 coats of maybe 3 coats of clear. Now, is it that important on underhood components? Probably not, but this is good practice for me. These were really difficult to do because of all the various geometry and trying to get into some of these crevices. And I just don't have a lot of room to move around, and I had trouble kind of following the curve, but luckily I didn't have too many runs, although I also didn't clean the garage before I did this. I've got a bunch of dust on the floor, and consequently, I'm sure you can see, I've got a bunch of dirt and clear. So I'm not super concerned about that at this point for the inner fender liners. I did some of the screws too, or the fasteners. So anyway, we'll let this sit for a couple days, and then we'll mount it so I can get the radiator on and start working on some of the other stuff. So that's where we are so far.